Algiers Point was the point at which in New Orleans, Africans newly enslaved were quarantined before being sold into a life of servitude across the river, across the Mississippi River, and up and across America. On further reflection, I thought, what kind of monument would work? And while there on a site visit in New Orleans, I did hear this very odd sound wafting across the air, and I was like, what is that? Dug a little deeper and realized it was a steam-powered calliope from the riverboat Natchez.
Kara has always kind of taken the form of an era that we might have forgotten and find the necessary way that we have to look at it today. And this instrument, though I'm playing a keyboard to make the sounds, I mean, it does something so drastically different from any piano I'd ever play. And it's in that release that all this other sound happens. Because it's not that I'm playing music, and it's not for the people who are there.
Right. It's voicing something. It's literally like vocal, you know.
Yeah. And sometimes it's an alarm. Sometimes it's a swirl or a tornado. Sometimes it gets stuck. You know, like it's responding about what it will say today. How do the birds react? How does the wind take it that comes across the meadow? All of those things now become part of the performance too.
People who are really focused on the steam machine, you know, like this, like look, bypass the caravan and look, like what are the mechanics of this thing? I think that in some coastal cities and there's maybe a closer familiarity to the calliope as an instrument or an instrument of fun or of carnivals. So I think that there's a culture, a small one, but a culture of people who will just kind of come for the whistle and maybe stay for the pain, I'm not sure. You know, stay for the, that's not what I wanted to hear from a steam calliope, which is a little like the Silhouettes in their early days, which was like, you know, we just wanted to see a cute, pretty thing, and you brought us this. It's been a long time, yeah. When I made this, it was really the first one, and it surprised me, you know. I do remember that when I was done, I was kind of like, aha, yes. Because I wanted it not to be static. It had to be an image that had an action and a possibility for creating a situation where a viewer has to look at it. And it did get a reaction from, you know, my colleagues and everyone at school. I mean, a reaction which was like stunned silence. Like people were like not quite sure where I was, you know, it was not the conversation we were having about, you know, if we were talking race or racism, you know, or anything. If. Like in the graphite drawing years where I wanted to kind of understand something about maybe the new Negro, thinking about the Great Migration, thinking about the transition in Black life in America from the rural South to the urban industrialized North for the most part, and what that means to be in transition.
when we approached it today, just to see the calliope in the shadow of the tree. In that instance, it's not a beautiful tree. It's actually a weapon. The tree is a weapon that uses gravity to hang people. The situation is difficult. That's part of also the rub of bringing sound around. It doesn't sit there objectively. It actually is there to agitate the environment. That's what good work does, period, is it does ask that question that seems like it's one thing on the surface, but underneath it's something totally different. And asks a set of questions that you have to kind of, if you want to, confront in yourself, you know?
There's more darkness than beauty oftentimes, and you can hew close to the abyss, but if you go in, you don't have the art. You just are sort of left with the hole. So it's like finding ways, comical or almost with flourishes that even aren't necessary to the entirety of the tale, but they're necessary to keep us whole, to keep us together, to keep us engaged, to keep us interested, to keep us listening.